Good morning and happy Tuesday. Got my high beams on. Don't need that. So, what motivates you? I've been talking about motivation this week. Well, yesterday was Monday, so yesterday. But there are basically, if you cut it down to the basic components, there are two things that underline our motivation. The two things are pleasure and pain. So we are motivated to get more pleasure, to seek more pleasure. The basic essentials of eating and reproducing and, those kind of things, pleasurable. And pain. So trying to avoid pain, right? Reduce pain. The fight or flight, we either get the heck out of there or we fight off whatever it is that's causing us stress or pain, or anguish. So when you think about the basic underlining causes of motivation, what motivates you, it's important to know these things, because when you want to achieve something, when you are looking to achieve a goal or complete a task, we have to hone into those basic motivational principles. For instance, going to the gym. Sometimes going to the gym for me is excruciatingly painful, right? So, because I'm thinking about, I don't want to go, I'm tired, I want to go home and relax, I got things to do, I don't want to have to sweat and breathe heavy and look at all the other people that are better in shape than I am. And so I'm relating going to the gym as painful. And what do we do when we seek, what do we do when we are feeling potential pain, right? We are motivated to go away from it. So every instinct, everything in our body is trying to avoid that pain. So we come up with excuses and we come up with all kinds of things and reasons and maybe distractions of why we don't go, right? So the key then is to link, instead of pain, link pleasure, right? When I get there, I feel a lot better. I feel accomplished. I feel like I've reached a goal. I did it. While I'm exercising, I'm jamming out to my tunes. I get to listen to my tunes. I kind of zone out. I don't have to focus on school or anything that I need to problem solve. I don't have. It takes me away from my stressors. When I'm done working out, I feel energized. I feel awesome. Again, I feel accomplished. I did it. I reached my goal. I said I was going to go to the gym, and I went. So all these pleasurable feelings. So when I'm thinking about going to the gym and exercising, it's important that I'm aware of what I'm thinking. I'm aware of, and it's training your brain too, right? It's training your brain to associate more pleasure to working out than there is pain. And that takes practice, of course, but being aware of what your thoughts are and what you're feeling is why am I trying to talk myself out of going to the gym? Okay, but that's because I'm associating pain to it. But in reality, there's a lot of pleasure to it. And then go on the list of what I just said, the things that are going to bring pleasure. The same thing when I have to do my homework, right? Yes, it's hard. I have to think. It takes a lot of work. It may be boring or tedious, or I don't really like the subject matter, especially this semester. I'm taking classes that aren't really, I have to take them, but they're not really pertaining to my degree necessarily. Or I can look at it as, my goal is I want to get a good grade, right? I want to do well. I'm working hard at this because the end game, right? I'm going to get my degree. And by getting my degree, I might get a little bit more money. I'm not mainly doing it for that, but I'm mainly doing it because I wanted to complete something I started. I had started going to school 24 years ago, right? And I got pregnant for my son, and I dropped out and with the intention of going back, and 25 years later, right? Actually, it was 22 years later I decided to go back to school because I've been in school for 3 years. Anyway, so the feeling of accomplishment, of reaching a goal, of how good I'm going to feel when I finish, and finish strong, you know, getting good grades, and it feels good when I get good grades, trying to associate with that. And also I can say, you know, usually once I get started doing my work, I get into it, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, it's usually the starting that's the problem, and I'll say to myself, once you get started, you'll get into it, you'll be fine. You know, you'll get into it, you'll be good. And so we can do this for anything, right? We can do it the opposite too, right? So let's say you smoke cigarettes and you want to quit, right? What happens is that it's difficult because you associate pleasure with smoking. It relaxes me. It helps me with stress. I eat less. You know, all these other things. I know I used to be a smoker. So instead, you got to think of the pain that it's causing you, right? Financially, health-wise. My kids don't want to give me a hug because I stink, or you know, my house, my car. That was the biggest thing too, because I loved smoking while I was driving. No matter how careful I was, there was a hot ash or something, I always burnt the upholstery, ceiling, seat, whatever, and my car always stunk. And so we can go on and on and on, right, about all the pains of smoking, right? And then of course you can flip it over and all the pleasures of quitting smoking. So to motivate us, we have two things: either away from pain or toward pleasure. We can do both for the same thing, like I just explained with the cigarette smoking, or we can really just try to flip the script in our head and focus on what it is that we're going to gain or avoid from doing whatever it is that we want to do. I hope this helps you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to let the people that you love know that you love them. Send them that text, give them that call, give them a hug. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. You can subscribe if you're seeing this on YouTube. Follow me, Facebook and Instagram, Recovery Enthusiast. Check out my website. I got some free stuff on there for you. And look for my next webinar. I'm not sure what I'm going to do it on yet. So if you have any suggestions, put it in the comments below. Until next time, guys, peace.